I like your spirit, boy.
Oh.
Little notice is if anyone is interested to carry on with this podcast society, please let me know through an email or the Facebook page that I have for this podcast, or through any members of the student union. So if you are interested to carry on the torch, since I'll be graduating, that'll be very appreciated. Back to the regular podcast. Welcome back, guys, to another episode after a little hiatus. NUASU Conversation Society is back, and today we got very good friends of mine, and we go a long way back to the year zero.
Yeah.
Dang. So we got my main Temi. Here we go. Yeah. I'll put the texts and the years and everything. You guys are doing graphic design.
Design comms.
Design comms.
All right. I think that's what I wanted to start off first is graphic design. You guys have like subdivisions, don't you?
Yes, it splits off into three sections. Graphic design, which is what everyone knows. Graphic communication, which is mostly branding. And then design for publishing, which is magazines, layout, stuff like that.
All
Editorial
right.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. How's that going for you?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's good.
Had a good hand in?
I passed.
Yeah.
So
I think everyone can say that as well. Just passed, get over with it, and now it's
Move
final
on.
thing. Yeah. But like, I don't want to sound like an old aunt, at family gatherings. So what are you gonna do next? And when you're getting married. But well, like, actually, no. Before we go to uni stuff, let's meet, like, say about ourselves and where we are, who we are, and where we are.
Where we are.
We're in uni.
Yeah.
A bit about ourselves. So if whoever wants to start first.
Ladies first.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Well, my name is Elanor, Jermyn. I am from Abu Dhabi.
All
Born
right.
in Abu Dhabi. And I'm doing graphic design in my last year, third year. And
So sad.
so sad.
So sad
yeah.
we're leaving this place.
It really is. Honestly, it's weird to think about the future. Like, it's that close. Just a couple of months, trying to ignore it, but it's creeping around the corner. It's just tension.
And you find, sir, or are you done? Sorry for interrupting.
No, I'm done.
Yeah.
It's not that much more interesting about me.
So I'm Temi, Alli. Graphics comms.
All right.
It's been a long 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Been too long. I'm sort of ready to finish, but I'm not ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here 5 years.
5 years.
Are you
I'm
doing
gonna do
masters?
masters. Yeah.
Oh.
The life is over once you begin masters. There's no social time.
Yeah, because we have.
I don't even have social time now. What's the point?
What is socializing?
This is my only audience.
Looks into
My
the
only
camera.
friends.
Single tier edit.
Yeah. But cool. So back in year zero.
Oh,
we
seems
had-
like forever. Honestly, seems.
I lost
forever.
count. Like I get confused. Like when was the first year, or when it was the second year, third year.
Yeah, I sometimes forget I did year zero.
Yeah.
It just feels like a year of.
I keep like bumping into Carl and Sean.
Do you?
Yeah.
Rarely bump into them anymore.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I
guys are
hardly
in
ever see them.
Guntons, so
It's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're good. They're pretty much the same. Yeah.
I'd be surprised if they were just really different from year zero.
Just Mohawks.
Oh yeah, change up my luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I had if you guys remember Rosie and Jack from year zero, because they were doing fine art. But I'm interested, like, how from your perspective, because I heard like people from graphic design weren't really happy with the year zero course back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
back then.
it was quite like fine art, contextual oriented.
It was a
Yeah,
merge.
so
it wasn't.
the first half of year zero was pretty much just all fine art.
Yeah.
And then obviously we did split up into fine art and graphics. But even the graphic stuff was still it was
It's
graphics
very
at its
basic.
most
Yeah.
basic level.
It's kind of also important to notice, like to mention, this was 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
probably today's year
It's-
zero is probably
It's
different
definitely
now.
way
It's a lot.
different.
It's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
more
they've
courses.
separated the courses now, because obviously for us in year zero, it was fine art, it was
It was only
the
fine
design.
art.
Yeah, it was only two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Now
now
they
They
I've
merged
got
those.
game
film
art,
and
film,
yeah,
fashion.
Sound of-
No,
no
think fashion.
visual effects, SFX.
VFX might be
Yeah.
one.
no VFX was start.
I think they have a foundation now in that. That's why. Yeah,
Year zero was a bit wobbly, but it's good that you guys like sticked in. Like
I'm
you
definitely
stayed.
glad that I did year
100
zero.
Yeah.
Like, even though the course itself was like almost all of it, I knew what I was doing because I did graphics previously at college.
Mm.
But it got me prepared for almost the rate that I was working at. I bought a lot of equipment whilst in year zero. Like the equipment, the checklist of stuff we had to bring prior to us coming to uni. A lot of it was just I bought all of it thinking I was going to need it. We didn't need any of them. But during that year zero, I bought a lot of equipment that I did that you need to
Eventually,
help me
yeah.
in the future years, basically. So I'm glad I did year zero.
All right.
Yeah, I'm glad I did year zero, but like for more the reasons of like it gave me an introduction, not just to, you know, I didn't do graphics design in my previous high school and college and stuff like that. I just came from doing a college. I did in A levels in sixth form. I did drama, theatre studies, media studies. And
It's still something creative though.
oh, definitely. I knew I wanted to do something creative, but it was this kind of like slow integration into what graphic design is, you know, what you could possibly do doing and stuff like that. It was a nice introduction, but also for me, because I came from Abu Dhabi, obviously, to do university here in England and at anyway. So it was a
Wallahi
nice...
haram.
it was just a nice year for me to kind of just get myself introduced into not only the uni and university life, but also just the culture of just England in general.
Yeah.
It's hella different.
That was one of the questions I also wanted to ask, like the cultural difference.
Oh, there's just a lot.
Yeah.
There is a lot. But then again, Norwich is not like London, obviously. Like it's not a big city, so there is some differences. Like where I'm from, Abu Dhabi and Dubai, they're like, obviously Abu Dhabi is the capital of UAE, and Dubai is like a mega city as well, like a new mega city. And Norwich is just a nice town.
Nah, it's a city. We got cathedral. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
I did my history lesson.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
It used to be capital of England back in like 11th, 12th century. Also.
Really?
Yeah.
And
And then it used to be second largest city until the industrial age, I think.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Norfolk is a farm country, I guess.
Yeah, and trading as well with the Dutch and the French and.
Oh, did not know that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, the gate at the cathedral, it's like, I don't know, there's this gate. It's like gate something, like immigrants gate or something like that, because people used to migrate to Norwich a lot.
Fair.
You can read it
Little
on
bit of history,
Wikipedia, yeah.
Just Google it. Find it. Oh, you got your facts.
Yeah, I mean, I did history back in, well, I did the IB equivalent to A levels, but
Yeah.
way supremer, sorry.
No,
to say.
I see how it is.
Yeah, and yeah, I like history.
Yeah, I did it for GCSEs, but I didn't go any further. I was like, oh, no more writing for me, no more, none of that. I was definitely like, let's go the creative route.
There you go. Well, I also did higher level physics. Instead of being like an engineer or an architect.
Yeah.
I'm doing art, hey.
You've gone far.
Yeah. No, but yeah. I mean, we're just makers if you don't want to put labels.
Oh, no, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Thinkers, creators, like whatever else, you like to call yourself.
Yeah. But so where is the split? Where does graphic design disintegrate into its own
Year
bubbles?
Beginning of year 2, so that at the end of year 1.
Okay, so by year 1
yeah.
you already know what you're interested in.
We'll
Yeah.
do everything under one name, and then by the end of year 1 we get the choice of which ones we're gonna go into.
Oh, okay.
It's also then if you're doing like in year 0, Tim was 100% on his course doing comms,
Yeah.
and then I was doing graphic design. But then, as Temi said, by the end of year one, you had that option to choose to change it from, let's say, you then realized, I'm actually more into designing books or editorial stuff. Then you could be like at the end of year one, can I then change my course to second year publishing or second year graphic design or something like that, you know. So it was like another taster year, but just more of what it was actually like, rather than in year zero, which was like cut out these shapes and stick them in to make them abstract and look like something. And that's what I remember, at least.
I mean, well, in my case, I remember year zero being helpful just to like break out of the stereotype of what art is and what it could be. But I guess for you guys, it's you still have like a client, and you need to know to listen to the client and interpret it.
In year zero, we didn't have any of that.
I didn't feel like that in year zero.
No, it was none of the. You didn't hear any of the talk of like, your client or whatever. The only thing we kind of got was like about a brief. Like, you'll definitely always have a brief of some sort, even if you don't necessarily get given a brief. You can at least create a brief even for yourself or whatever project you're doing, and stuff like that. But yeah, like.
And what about the accommodation? I just remembered.
Me and Temi have literally just been together since, obviously for us in year zero, it's like you get to do that whole student accommodation first in the first year.
That's one good thing about year zero, is that we got to make friends and not have to worry about our work, because in year zero to part, there was no grades, there was a pass or fail, and it's the only way to fail was if you literally do nothing. So if you hand in something, you've got to pass. So it was good to just like make
encouragement.
It's great.
Do nothing.
It was great to just make friends and be able to decide where you're gonna live. So like we was in
who you want to live
we
with,
was in Beechcroft,
right?
In year zero.
But believe it or not, till this day I never been there.
It's a long walk away.
That's what I heard.
Walk away.
I think now recently they're removing Beechcroft.
Apparently, when they're building another ASG,
more in town.
Once that's built, I think they're gonna close down
Beechcroft.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I met this one.
Ever
she was
since
in my corridor in Beechcroft.
Literally next door to me.
Very much, yeah.
Well, pretty much like well, you guys remember Patrick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He we've been housemates since ASG, and we're housemates now as well.
Nice, didn't know that.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was kind of the history. Now, what are, let's say, your I don't know how, like, styles, or like, well, how would you explain like your no, I wouldn't say workflow. That's another question.
Ethics?
Nah, it's like, I was thinking, what if I take my computer and then you guys show me your work and we can talk about that? Would you guys be down for that?
I'm just thinking, I don't know what work I have.
Yeah, I don't know if I've got any work on.
It's like
our work, we don't post our work on.
On Instagram or stuff like that.
Right.
Our stuff is quite like, well, in graphic design, we do a lot of stuff packaging-wise, and we do a lot of stuff just on the computer and designing a pack of some sort, like whether that be a label for a bottle or some sort of cereal bar, or depending on what the brief is.
Yeah.
I've got one work on me on Instagram.
I do not have an Instagram. Probably should,
Well, yeah, that's, I guess, like another good thing for this podcast is at the end you can like put any links or something where people can see your works.
Hit me up.
I'll drop my Instagram.
All right.
After.
Yeah, I'll make sure to.
The
links down below. Use the code society to
subscribe.
To have a discount 50% on nothing. Yeah. I spend loads of time on YouTube.
I do too. It's one of those things where it's just like you just catch yourself going through videos on your timeline or your feed, like, oh, it's new recommended stuff.
Just new tab.
Yeah.
Oof. And then when you finish the last tab, you're like, what's my life?
What did I just watch?
Exactly.
What is the world?
No, but yeah, tell me more about, like, because I have like a single project, and I do that
Right.
for
Yeah.
15 weeks or how many
Yeah,
weeks, and that's it.
Kind of different, quite
You-
different courses, obviously. Because I heard, obviously, Emma and other people that are in your course, like, you do more exhibition stuff and getting ready for that kind of stuff. Whereas us, well, for me in graphic design, probably similar to you, I guess, in your course as well, we're more focused on our portfolio and competition briefs and stuff like that. So, like, right now, I've got, like, 2 competition briefs I'm doing.
All right.
At the same time, kind of slightly working on them. But then those, whether I win or not, it doesn't really matter, because
It's
at the
just
end of the day,
experience.
that plus at the end of the day, it will just go into my portfolio. So then at the end of the year, when I'm done with uni and all that kind of stuff, I've got this portfolio of all the years I've been doing designing and stuff like that, and something to present to wherever agency or design place I want to go to. So I've got something to show them, being like, this is my work, this is what I've been doing, this is what I've been up to, and just showcasing.
Hire me, please. Yeah.
Hopefully, they're just like, please take me, please. just start crying to them, like, I don't care what you do, I can make tea, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, is it like a weekly basis briefing, or like every 2-3 weeks?
Depends. Because for me, we normally maximum that we recently got in this year was like a 3-week briefing. So we get like a brief, and it's like, do this maybe for.
Like the deadline isn't within 3 weeks, or.
Well, there's not necessarily a deadline. It's more like we expect you to more or less be finished with designing and all that kind of stuff within 3 weeks of when they give you the brief, obviously. And then once the 3 week is up, let's say, they give you another project, basically. So it's like you have more than one project on the go. Like, you can always go back to them and do stuff to them if you're not happy or satisfied, or if you're not finished even with one of the briefs and stuff like that. But like for our first unit, that's the deadline for all your projects that they've briefed you on and stuff like that. So I think in the first unit we had, I want to say 4 projects that we had to hand in. But obviously they were given to us, like, first one was like a poster project, like design a poster based off an event, and we had 2 weeks for that. And so after that, they'll have a final crit and see where you're at. And then after that, the next week they'll give you another project on, I think, visual identity, and then they'll say, okay, do this for 2 weeks. But obviously, while you're doing visual identity, you can go back to the posters saying, if for whatever reason you're not finished, you can still do it, but then you're juggling 2 projects and so on and so forth and stuff like that.
And then the anxiety kicks in, and the stress, and
that comes with it, all of it, like 100% baggage.
It's part of the package,
It's like, if you're not organized, if you're not on top of it, it will be on top of you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I got so many references in my head, but I'm not gonna say.
I know. Happy thoughts.
Insert text here. Damn. Is that pretty much the same with you as well?
Yeah, mostly it's
just
like
like
all the same.
The outcome is different. Like the result.
No, I reckon the outcome will be the same. It's just we get more time to spend on the project than they do.
All right.
So like last year, I think they had a project that lasted 2 weeks. Like at the beginning of second year, their first project lasted about 2 weeks, whereas my project lasted 4 weeks. So I had 4 weeks, and then I got briefed on another project. But obviously, this year, the first unit, they had 4 projects. We had 2 plus a competition brief that we didn't have to finish. It just had to start it. So technically, we only had 2. So yeah, we had loads of time to just work on them to obviously start the competition brief, and then obviously get all of that ready for handing for unit 1 or BA1, BA3. 3A.
Yeah, BA3A.
Yeah,
it's confusing.
I mean, it makes sense. It's just when it comes to pronouncing it, it's like BA3Z.
QYZ, QWERTY.
But let's say, like, people that are watching are outside of university and they're just interested in coming to Norwich in this uni. what would you say like is, let's say, the good, and you can see the bad thing as well, like in living in Norwich, for example?
Do you want to go?
Well, the good is that this uni's been developed, because if you hadn't noticed, like if you think it all the way back to year zero, the uni felt bare bone. It hardly had anything. It had like two societies. Most of the buildings weren't even open yet. It only just opened ASG when we started. It just didn't have a lot. But then now, if you look at it now, compared to now, it's
We
like
got this building.
you've got this building, this new architecture building.
Yeah.
I think there's one more building that's opened. Obviously, you've got the lounge downstairs.
You got the one across the street as well from here. The exhibition, not exhibition, but a small gallery thingy.
Broadman House.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it's
It's literally next door,
the
opposite
uni
street.
gallery. That's how I call it.
Yeah, pretty much.
They
that's it.
opened a cafe. It's like 50 plus societies now.
Yeah, it's
And
growing.
Yeah, the uni just felt like it was developing with us whilst we was developing this uni. So if they were to come now, it will feel more like a uni that's been around for a while compared to back then.
Also, remember, like, I heard that where the Year Zero studios are now in the Westgarth part, they used to be a DSU bar cafe.
That's more room. But I think as it got bigger, they decided to move into a bigger room, I guess.
I mean, that's the thing, because this
Makes
is
sense.
I think like it's more like a specialist university. It's not as broad as the UEA, for example.
Yeah. Well,
And
it's a
because
very
we're
small
like
uni.
in this middle of the city, unlike having
Creative
the
hub.
fields
Got their own
and
campus.
forests and
Their own city, their own village, honestly.
Yeah.
They got their own village.
Yeah.
I mean,
People got up there to go shopping.
Yeah,
I can't remember if I already mentioned this, my previous podcast, but like I can't imagine myself being in those type of universities.
Oh, that's weird because obviously at the beginning, before I even knew about art unis being specialized and stuff like that,
I kind of wanted to go to one of those unis. Like,
same. Yeah, I was thinking there was no.
What is what's on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean,
But now it's like I couldn't imagine either.
watching
like,
American Pie and all those college movies.
living a student life, party every night.
cringe right there. Alcohol intoxicated. Oh wait, I woke up in the hospital.
I don't consume that. Come on.
Mom, if you're watching.
I'm a very halal person.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a proper university, but it has its own category. It feels good.
I don't know, but okay. And then also, I think the disadvantage that the first thing that comes to my head is like Norwich is too hilly. My legs hurt.
There's a lot of hills.
There is definitely
There's
a
a lot of
the
hills.
one when you're trying to go to the castle. This is just instant incline forever until you get to the castle.
When
Obviously.
you try to go to
It's a good leg day though.
to Greg's
It's true.
from uni, if you go up that hill
I
just to
mean,
get your
I
food.
guess that's a disadvantage, but an advantage as well because I've never walked so much in my entire life, like even back home. But here it's like it's kind of makes you and forces you to walk because as much as you could like take a taxi, which is expensive, it just kind of makes you walk there because you're like, oh, it's just 10 minutes, oh, it's just 30 minutes. It kind of forces you to go outside and experience stuff.
Listen a bit of music, and next thing you know, I'm already at the destination.
Pretty much. I think, however, one disadvantage, me personally, that I find unfortunate doing a specialist kind of arts university, of course, is I didn't, because obviously coming from high school and college, I was really into like sports and stuff like that, like all the kind of different sports, and I could just go to them because they had the society or the club basically after school. Obviously here especially, I don't know, compared to like year zero to where we are now, there's more obviously now. There's like football, swimming. They didn't really have that in year zero, whereas like I was really into from like college hockey, and I would have wanted to get back into it and stuff like and do that kind of stuff.
Considering how small the uni is.
Yeah, like they just
you kind of
couldn't
feel nostalgic about it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I would have to then create a society to then set it up and then
organize
find a location and that's like just more. As much as I can do it, but I just lazy. Never lie. It's just I have work going on.
The same with me. I'm into basketball and skateboarding, but there isn't a society.
It's like you have to set it up.
Or I don't even know where to go play basketball, let alone set up a society for it.
Whereas UEA, it's like they have literally a sports.
Their own courts and
Yeah.
I think they even have the rock climbing walls.
They do, yeah.
I was
I've
like,
seen
God
that.
damn.
Yeah, I know, right? You should go in and there's a cafe next door. It's like, whoa, cool.
I'm going for rock climbing, you know.
There is, yeah, you should, yeah, you should visit. I mean, anyway, go to anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
we
understood.
creative. No, but I think, yeah, our uni is very like has good credibility and.
100%. Like, even though it's one of those things where I would go back if I had to redo everything I've done, you know, as in like choose a university again. Definitely would pick this one over like a normal uni that's not specialist into like arts, the arts.
No disrespect.
No,
just saying.
Don't worry.
It is what it is.
Art uni for life. Yeah, no, it's just there's something nice about being around creative people in general, because that is what your course is about. Like no matter what course you're doing, photography, film, fine art, design.
There have been also like
fashion.
new courses as well.
Yeah, it's you're constantly surrounded by creative people, and it helps you in the sense of like you might be kind of doing something in a specific way because it's your course, but then you make friends in other courses as well, and they show you like different things in animation. They can help you, and you can get help from each other. Whereas I think if I were to have gone to, now that I look at it, this is all in hindsight, of course, and I can see
using fancy words.
Why not? Why not? It's like I as much as you could probably ask your friends from science for help for what do you think about this art or design that your piece of work you're doing, they probably wouldn't be able to help as much as people here, if that makes sense. You know, I feel like just here you can progress more for you and be specialized for what you're best at. You know, creativity and stuff like that.
Good call, yeah. I just remembered also when you mentioned like, you know, people from different courses. Remember when we had the interchange week thingy? What was graphic design like matched with like whether?
I don't think we
didn't
do
know.
it. They didn't
What?
give us one.
We didn't. We weren't forced into having.
I don't think we even had one.
We did have an interchange, but.
Yeah, we had interchange, but like normally during interchange, they get the course to work with, to do a collab with another course to create something. They didn't say anything to us about that.
No.
I don't think they
to
did
us,
one for us.
They said something like,
which is weird because back in year 0, when I first heard about it, I did actually want to do it, like work with another course. But I don't remember.
I mean, all they said to us was just here. It's interchange week, obviously. And that's what everyone is doing that week, but they said to us, like, they gave us options of what we could be doing during that interchange.
During the events that
it's like there's links you can click and stuff and choose like what you want to go to that week. But then equally they said,
no, wait, sorry, I got confused. Well, there's one when you could like sign up for 2 of the workshops, right? There was one thing. That was that one thing. But then there's also, I think, between the hand in between BA2A and BA2B. Like the time of 2 weeks, there's like a collaborative project.
We didn't get that.
I guess they just probably thought there's no time because we were doing too many projects. For
I
us,
don't think so, because
I think it might.
For
be.
me,
I'm pretty sure there was a previous years that they've done it before as well.
For
I
us,
think Coben did it once.
For us, it was fine art and games art.
That's an interesting mashup.
And then we had to make a video. Like in the 50s style, about global warming, like letting them know, like, I don't know. It was a very retarded project.
I mean, during interchange week, I remember doing something as well. Instead of like choosing the options that you could do, I remember just doing something. Just one of, to be fair, our friends. You probably remember Karina in years ago. Yeah. She's doing film.
Yeah, she moved to film.
She's still doing film, obviously, and she kind of needed help with one of her shoots that she was doing.
Yeah, film did a collab with fashion.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
See that week we didn't get anything because. That's the week that they got courses to collab with other courses. They didn't give anything to graphics.
Just kind of decided to do.
Maybe because there's like too many of you guys.
Probably.
I mean, at that point, we was all split up into graphic design, communication, and publishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I don't think
we have different.
I didn't hear anything about anyone doing any collab with any other course in my class, in our studio.
Very strange.
Mm.
Why don't you file a report?
I
Sue
completely
the
forgot about it, to be honest, but I might bring it up. I might bring it up in my next
Do it again.
prep.
Come bring it back.
Did you guys do the NSS thingy, the National Survey thingy?
Yes.
Yeah, it was so weird. They called me on my phone. I was like, yeah, well.
I'm not aware of this.
I just got emails.
I didn't get.
Well,
none
I
of
got
that.
loads of
NSS.
emails, and then
I know, obviously when you open the computer now, there's a massive NSS survey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
No.
pops up.
Like I've been ignoring the emails because like I don't have time to do it now. And then last week on Tuesday, a phone rang, but I was like, unknown number.
Yeah, that
And then
is.
yesterday, whilst I was working on my painting, the phone goes like, "Oh, this is the NSS, and could you spare 5 minutes?" I was like, "Yeah, all right, let me just get over with it," and
Yeah.
that's it.
I
Haven't
got
done
a
it,
few
but
emails, so I did it on the email.
I've just not been aware. I have no idea that was going on. Not gonna lie.
You might eventually get it. Someone might just call you up.
Hit me up. Me on my phone.
I think
Slowly
that's I think another disadvantage that I remembered. Whoever is the software tech person in the university, if they could please, I'm like begging the university now, if they could please just make the mailbox memory a bit bigger.
Oh, when
So
you get
it's-
notifications
So they're
about
like,
it.
oh, you reached the
Yeah.
limit. I was like, come
That's
on.
so annoying.
Yeah,
That's
I'm a
so
hoarder.
And it's like, what was it, like 400 megabytes of space you get?
Yeah, pretty much.
Come on, at least
I'm-
the gig. Come on.
I mean, I'm also a hoarder of emails, so it's one of those things where I don't want to delete emails because you never know. I'm one of
Yeah,
those
exactly.
people-
Like I
Nostalgia.
pretty much deleted everything from year 0 to year till second year.
That's
Yeah, I
sad.
think I did that as well.
That's
Yeah.
sad. Yeah.
That's so sad.
Yeah. I tried to keep some of the old timetables from year 0.
Yeah, or
Just to
some
see.
projects or some
just the-
some photos.
Oh look, I have nothing on that week.
Yeah.
in year 0.
God damn.
I mean, I just think of the only thing that comes to mind is just like how not unprepared, but how like the future stuff. That's just seems very at the moment because we're getting closer and closer to it. Just the future stuff.
I'm not ready for.
Yeah, adulthood. Nah.
Oh, do you guys have like? Well, I know for fine art, like we have like a end of year exhibition. Do you guys have like a portfolio exhibition?
Well-
And I think the whole uni has exhibitions.
Yeah,
so,
Yeah.
like,
People come in, don't they?
yeah, obviously, studios, directors come in to look at people's work. I
Mm.
think, I don't know if they did it last year. I think they took it off, but we're allowed to make business cards.
Okay.
I think last year they wasn't allowed to make it. I don't know why.
Yeah, graphics wasn't allowed to. Downstairs, like illustration and a lot more, weren't they?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
allowed to make business cards and obviously put it with our stuff.
Yeah.
And see if we can get any employees to hire us there and then.
Yeah, some headhunters. Are they what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what they call it in the film industry. I don't know about anything else, but
I know in
Same
Serbia
thing.
there's this football hooligan group called the Headhunters.
Oh.
Quite scary.
Oh no.
So like that's like I knew for the football gang before I knew that that's an actual term in industry. So I was like headhunters. Like I don't want them following
Don't
me.
look for my head.
Damn. But like I just remembered to ask you that because on the 18th, like the next Monday, I need to send my proposal for the exhibition.
Oh, you have proposals and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so like, do you guys also have a proposal, or you
I-
bring out whatever you got?
No.
I
it's-
think we just show our best work.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It's just what we
are
think.
so lucky.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like more of a hassle.
Well, yeah, I think it's the reason why we need proposal is just because
Just
the curators can then know how big your work is, roughly
Mm.
speaking, so they can know how to
obviously, yeah,
curate.
because fine art can range from
Right,
this
yeah.
to that. Like it's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so like I still don't know what to do. I mean,
Because obviously with fine art, it's like, I think a lot of the questions or things that come up with fine art, it's like, what can you do? Because like for us, it's like we go to agencies, companies, people, and stuff like that. Interviews. I don't know. Like people find us, or we get in contact with them and try and get an internship and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like obviously
or-
for fine art, it's probably
well,
definitely different.
it's I think it's less obvious. It has like
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
around the road.
Yeah. What do you want to do with your fine art? Like, do you have an idea?
I got a few ideas. I got one thing. I'm not sure if I can start talking on the camera.
That's fair.
But it's a big project.
Cool. Sounds interesting.
Then, other than the uni work in last term, I was actually doing online course from Sotheby's, which was like art as business and the value of art. So it kind of gave me the business aspect of art, just so I can then know
How to sell your art.
well, how to sell, and
Yeah.
then how the galleries work and how auctions work and how different markets work, and then the interest rates and this and that in different industries and.
Lost me at interest rates.
Yeah. I mean, I just used a big word. I don't remember if that was on the actual course.
I believe you. Don't worry.
Yeah, but like actually that took a lot of my time. So pretty much I spent like maybe 3 weeks doing nothing for uni, just like doing the online course. And that was actually graded, and at the end I got the certificate, so it's on my LinkedIn now.
Wow! Congrats!
Yeah.
Oh damn!
But that was actually like what like boosted my grade, learning outcome 6, which was like planning for the future and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
So that kind of saved my ass. If I haven't done that, it would be like
whole different story. You'd be crying, or break out the ice cream.
I would be like, Mom, Dad. No, I didn't do that bad. Come on.
It's fine.
Nah.
Pass is a pass. It's fine.
But yeah, I mean that's another thing like that I heard from. I think it was Sebastian who told me that. Sebastian from Ideas Factories.
Okay.
He told me that, for example, some like big companies, insurance companies, whatever, they would hire artists to do them to be their problem solvers. So because they're working in an industry where there's no creativity, a person who doesn't have the knowledge of like how the stocks work, for example, might know how to creatively think about. And then consult them and consolidate.
That person would be me. I have no idea about insurance and all that kind of stuff. If I were to.
So there is, as more industries, I believe, like are getting more, robotized and more systematic and everything. The only thing that separates us from robots is creativity.
Yeah, being able to think for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean,
to think outside the box.
There has been like video games. Was it Detroit something?
That's a good game.
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah,
I played that. It's a good game.
it's like have you seen all those memes where like just draw something and the guy's like figuring out and then you like Photoshop very different stuff in there.
Oh my god.
But I mean, who knows? Maybe robots do
have an actual intelligent.
Yeah, I was actually listening to a podcast the other night, and they were talking about how there's like you're gonna have chips and you can upload your brain into a machine, and is your brain in another machine still you?
That's a big question. It's a big topic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a sci-fi person, but
I reckon it mostly depends on what you believe in as a person. Because
is it like if once you take out like the actual human aspect of it, like chips and computers and stuff like that, like, and it's metal, like it's literally something that's like made by someone else rather than, well, technically we're made as well, but we're organic though. Yeah, we're organic, whereas that is something
all natural, homegrown.
I came from my mama. There's a fine line, I think.
It depends on if you believe in the soul.
Just
copying your brain into just copying what everything that what's in your mind into a chip. Well, is it transferring your soul?
That's the thing, like the consciousness.
They need to have a heart or stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, I've been like thinking like, if whilst you're alive, you're processing and coming with decision making and everything. The moment you die and they upload you to a computer, will that brain be able to process and to make decision makings, or will it just rely on the past, or on the memories and like the records, but not be creative and no, what's the word, productive in living on further, or is it just
like it won't be you anymore?
Yeah, it'll be just like a you on like a replay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things.
But that's how we are anyways. Like we use our past to create ourselves.
But that's the thing where
we are who we are because of our past.
But compared to like a computer, let's say, like obviously if it just were to go on, like make a judgment based off our past memories, it's not then learning from, like we take in things now, you know, this is the present and stuff like that, and we can make judgments right here then and now, and then learn from past stuff. Like I don't know if a computer brain like that would be able to then make a judgment or make, like we can think about the future, I guess, but like can a computer do? I don't know. Is there like a, is that where it stops, where it's like it's no longer you because it can only rely on the past and that's it? It can't really make a judgment then and there. If you were to ask it, I don't know, a question like how do you feel now, it would be like calculating from my past experience, you know, I think I should feel like this, whereas we can be like, oh, I do feel like this now because I am me and I can feel it, you know. I think that's maybe where the difference is, where you can calculate things in a computer brain can be like, I can calculate it from the past or whatever, but whereas you don't need to calculate because you just feel, you just know. I don't know.
Yeah, and then speaking of feelings, like what about love? Will does robot want to have a partner, for example, or just like get some
I don't know
WD-40 and that's it?
That's when it gets robot porn. Jesus.
You know, because like love and the whole reproductive system is like plays a big part in humans as well.
Oh yeah.
But robots, who knows? I don't know.
They say robots is the future, but
I would hate that future then.
Yeah, it's like one of those knockoff movies from, well, not knockoff, but I love the movie, you know, iRobot, you know. Will Smith? No. Well, just like one of those kind of robot movies.
I've probably seen the trailer, but I don't remember watching the actual movie.
I think it's called iRobot anyway. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you guys watch the movie Idiocracy?
No.
It's like a comedy, but then at the end of the movie, it has you thinking like, well, that's actually quite true. Have
you seen other stuff like Ex Machina? I know that was one as well, like a robot one.
Ex Machina.
Oh, bad. That one.
No, I'm very bad with the movies.
That one's about this guy creating this AI that he's trying to create an AI that can think for itself, and he brings in someone else to test the robot to see if the robot is truly thinking for itself, or is it programmed to do this. Yeah. By the end of the movie, both humans are dead, but the robot managed to trick spoilers. The robot managed to trick the humans into believing the robot and get off the island that it was on. And it's now obviously the outside of it is built to look like a person. So by first glance, you think it's human, anyways, and is now currently roaming society.
No,
keep
but
an eye open at night now.
Was it Transcend with Johnny Depp?
I haven't seen that one. Someone else.
Well, I think that's kind of similar to what we've been speaking earlier. Is like Johnny Depp dies and his brain gets uploaded to the computer, but because now that he's like connected to the computer, as like the nanoscience and everything, he can like control the weather and the water and all this crazy stuff, you know, and because everything is connected through the internet and all that, like to the point where he can actually like manipulate the humans,
like a demigod. If you can control that
pretty
kind of
much.
Stuff.
It's like, well, I mean, here's another thing. Like, okay, if one person had that much power, what if like every human in the world was also like programmed to do that? You know, and then
Armageddon.
like we have like the computer viruses now and the whole hacking. Then people would be hacking each other's brains.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No, then you're definitely not you anymore if someone manages to hack your brain. I think that's an advantage now for being human. No one can hack your brain. Someone can manipulate you. That's a smaller version of hacking.
Brainwash you and kind of decide what you want to think.
But in a way, you can hack the brain. Like you can feed your way into someone's subconscious and make them do something they haven't realized that they're doing.
Hypnosis kind of stuff as well.
Sort of a hypnosis, but instead of like instead of putting them in a trance.
Snap out of it!
Best podcast ever.
You're tricking them into giving you what you want or doing what you want them to do for you. And like people say, the brain is probably the world's smartest computer. True. Like the brain is pretty much a computer itself, just an organic one. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't think as fast as a machine, but it's developed over the years. And there is a very small theory that the brain, like after you die, the brain gets uploaded into this like shared cloud that's connected to everyone. And that's why the human race is constantly improving, getting smarter over the generations, because they are feeding from that cloud, that shared cloud, taking information and improving upon it.
I honestly think that's the government's stuff. Like they wouldn't.
Interesting.
That theory is from years ago. I can't remember how long ago it was. Years ago, and it's like that's why people are evolving, because
if
they're not repeating what's been done. They are
it gets uploaded to the cloud, but then how does from the cloud go back to the new generations?
We didn't get that far.
I mean,
so like when it rains, like
brain juice.
That's why it rains. It's not for the plants.
Oh my god.
All right. I mean, interesting. I mean, I definitely like heard of like theories, and I think is it in Buddhism, like the whole karma and the
cycle or something.
Yeah, and there's like the body extra. I can't remember it now.
Is it like feed or something? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you can like your physical body can be in one place, but then your spiritual body can go out somewhere and
roam the spiritual plane.
Yeah,
some people do believe in that, to be fair.
I don't know. I'm very skeptical about it.
You're a person of science, I'm guessing, or is it?
I'm actually very agnostic.
Okay,
but I was like watching a video which was about that, like the outer body spiritual thing traveling. I can't remember. I'll probably remember and like put a word somewhere edited. I don't know, but it was basically like. There was this case where this like a pope, whatever, or someone was like meditating, and his spiritual body was like in 3 places at once, and people saw him and everything. And I was thinking, well, okay, like now, like criticizing head on, right? If your human body is, sleeping, it's paralyzed, whatever, and your spirit like leaves your body.
Yeah. Then
whoever sees that spirit your spirit is going to be naked, because clothes are materialistic.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
If the person who was at 3 places at once, whoever saw him, he must be naked.
Can you imagine seeing a naked spirit? You're just like, Mom, what are you doing here?
That's an aroused spirit, right there.
Oh,
I like your spirit, boy.
But
wow,
that was great.
But that's something to think about.
Food for thought, definitely.
Yeah. What are you guys, by the way, like? What are you guys zodiac signs?
Cancer.
Okay.
Gemini.
You?
A Virgo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, different. You believe in like star signs and that kind
of
stuff?
Well, that was my practice last year.
Oh, really?
But I just can't remember anything about the Gemini.
Gemini is the twin star. It's a shame I'm not a twin.
No, but like the characteristics of a Gemini.
I've read it up, but I actually can't remember it.
It's like more like you get the really basics ones, like you get a newspaper. It's like, oh, it's your
that's
but it's to do with like the planets, isn't it, and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like the actual stars and planets, and like you've got your what
the
was
Mars
it?
has aligned with the Venus, and then
Yeah, it's like you're descending something, like my something house, or I can forget it. Something's in moon.
yeah.
Like something's in the moon for me. Like I think Leo.
There's the ascendant and the lunar sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Virgo Scorpio.
Yeah, from what I remember, Cancer, Leo. Yeah.
Ooh, emotional and furious. Damn.
Dangerous, right? They're just danger. Just
Yeah.
question mark.
I don't know what my second one is.
I think there's
Oh,
like
you can calculate it. That's your date of birth and the time of your birth.
yeah, it's like more specific.
I remember I was like maybe born at 9:25 in the morning or 11:25.
I just kind
I
of
have no idea what time I was.
I don't know either. I just kind of did because in some stuff like you can do stuff online as well, and they just kind of say if you don't know what time, just do the average, like the 12 or something like that.
No.
So I was like, yeah, okay, fair, I'll do that.
Dang. Then also recently, like there's also like astronomical number as well.
There's a thing, isn't it? This was a thing for a while where they mentioned they got the star dates wrong, isn't it? Like they said, oh yeah, everyone that supposed to be like this star sign, it's actually not anymore because
No, I think that was
It
about,
depends on every year, like
the movements of the stars. Like
Yeah.
all the stars have changed over the years.
yeah,
So your star sign
there's
would
like
have
an
changed to
extra
a
one
different
now, I think.
like a 13th.
Yeah, there's an extra
symbol.
one, and because of an extra one, there's now the other ones have moved, like the dates of when if you
Yeah, so everyone's got a different
the bracket of
so I won't be a Gemini anymore.
yeah, and
but
I wouldn't be a Cancer anymore. I'll be a Gemini
I'm
actually.
accepting Gemini, so I prefer Gemini.
I prefer Cancer. You know when you read your traits and it's like, yeah, I'm not a Gemini, and you're like, yeah, I'm not a.
I mean, like the thing is, like my brother is also a Virgo, and literally our birthdays is one day apart.
Really, wow.
Yeah, he's on 20th, I'm on 21st.
You almost were a twin, almost.
Well, 2 years difference.
Oh, never
Yeah.
mind then. I thought you meant.
Yeah, it's a new
Actually.
13th
Yeah.
astronomical sign.
What?
Yeah, I forget when that happened. I found out maybe when I was in year 2, actually, or something like that.
How do you pronounce that?
This is why I didn't try.
Ophiuchus. Sounds like Matrix. No, it doesn't.
Matrix is a good
Oh, so
movie.
from November till December.
Yeah, it's
But
interesting.
I find it interesting because like the article was written in 2016.
Yeah, it's
We're
fairly
19 now.
recent. Yeah,
Say what?
they must have checked all the stars.
Oh, but maybe.
Hmm.
All right. Think about this.
Hmm.
Maybe that's for people who are born in 2016. For us who are born 20 years before that. Oh my God, we're
Oh
old.
God,
We're old.
we 90 babies.
Yeah.
90s.
You know what I like? Sorry, like what I said. I think it was yesterday, and it was kind of Friday. Like a decade ago, I used to listen to this. I was
Oh, a
like,
decade.
oh, damn.
You're. Oh, that's horrible to hear that you literally are a decade old. Oh,
Well,
or
2
young-
decades.
2 decades. Yeah.
Just over 2 decades
Yeah.
now.
I would be a Taurus if I was
Oh really?
if we take a new one.
What?
Yeah, that's Taurus is from 30th of May to 21st
Yeah.
of June.
I would be a Gemini.
And then, well, my girlfriend would be Capricorn instead of Aquarius.
Mm.
And then where's Virgo? Oh yeah, I'm still Virgo.
Yes. The lucky one then.
Because like 21st is like the last day of the Virgo. 22nd is already the.
I know a lot of people actually in Virgo. Like a lot of my family is in Virgo, and a lot of other people.
Mhm.
So that's
One of my friends is Cancer, and he's 27th of June. I'm 17th of June, but I'm Gemini.
All right. Well, I think my aunt's kid, like he's sometimes depending on the year. Sometimes he's Taurus, sometimes Aries. Just because like the calendar changes.
I mean,
Like
if
a year to year, like pretty much like 1 year it might be Taurus, another year could be Aries. Just
Best of both
depends.
worlds.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the ones that are born on literally the day of the leap year. Like
Of this month.
People born
Yeah.
in leap years.
yeah, that's just you never get your birthday until next 4 years.
Left
like-
every 4 years.
Oh.
How old are you? I'm 4. I'm hitting puberty.
It's the case of Benjamin Button getting younger.
Oh, that's a movie I never watched either. Like,
That's.
I've seen the trailer so many times.
It's quite old now, obviously.
Yeah.
I actually can't remember. I watched it so long ago.
It's
Yeah.
like he's born as a grandpa and then ages as a kid. Right?
Yeah, he. Well, no, he.
Something like that.
Yeah, when he's something like that. Like he gets born and then. Oh, I can't remember now. He ages. Like when he gets older, obviously he gets younger. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his skin gets tighter and looks
Wrinkly. and-
handsome. That's weird.
I think that's how it was. Can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Something up to do with ages and aging.
I'm rusty.
Yeah.
But damn. Thank you for teaching me that now there's 13 signs.
Yeah, it's a whole new.
And I taught myself as well.
Yeah, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
But I'm going to refuse that new calendar.
I think
Yeah,
everyone
no.
does.
When it comes to zodiac signs, I'm a conservative.
Oh dear.
There can't be 13. I mean, 13 is an unlucky number as well. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you believe.
And
that.
today is the 13th as well.
Is it?
Yeah, but it's Friday the 13th. That's the
Yeah.
unlucky day.
That's true.
And today is Wednesday.
I think Halloween was one.
Yeah, there was one Halloween that was on
Friday the 13th. That was spooky, spooktacular.
And imagine it was full moon as well.
There's gonna be some werewolves out for blood.
Yeah, we loco.
Lock your doors.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've been like trick or treating. I think maybe once or twice in my entire life.
Really?
It's not a Serbian thing. We actually have a Saints Day on
Really?
31st of
Oh,
October.
that's interesting. Yeah, back home for me, it was like back home because obviously Abu Dhabi is like quite multicultural. Like there's loads
Yeah.
of people
I
like
mean,
expats and
It
stuff
used
like
to
that.
be like in the compounds. We would have like the
yeah,
Halloween stuff. But
definitely that happened for me as well. That's when I experienced, but then I stopped. Have never done it here. Like here, it's much different Halloween. Like when you
Yeah.
celebrate, it's more depending on the age you are. Obviously,
Exactly, that's
it's
a
very
very
different.
important thing.
The age is definitely
Yeah.
important. Where it's no longer about trick or treat, smell my feet. It's more like, okay,
Trick or treat, I'm gonna throw up in this bin.
that's your
in this
treat.
bush.
That's your treat. If someone finds that, oh god.
Just another excuse. But oh well, that's another thing. You know, we got Prince of Wales here in Norwich. That's nice if some people are into that.
It's a bit ironic though, because like, Norwich is classed as one of the saviour cities in the UK.
Yeah.
Dude,
Prince of Wales is classed as one of the most dangerous streets in the UK.
That's so.
Have you seen? I can't remember. It's been a few months. There was this video of the policeman here in Norwich, like escorting a duck or
Yes.
a goose or something like that.
I think it might have been a swan.
Swan.
That
That's the
was
one.
it,
It was a white
because
swan. Yeah.
It's queen swan, isn't it? So
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
swans, it's the queens or something.
So literally, you see
They
the cops just like
Escorting
let's
this
go.
one down Principal. I think I remember
This is
seeing
what
that
they're here
article.
for, to protect the animals. No, it's just full of old people. They don't need protected.
Nah. Oh,
It's all about the animals.
Oh man, that was very fun. I was like, that's what Norwich is famous for, and also the mustard as well, isn't it? The
yeah,
Coleslaw.
there used to be a mustard shop like in the
Yeah,
arcade
yeah.
that closed down recently.
Yeah.
Like it's no longer there. It's definitely mustard out of all things, you know. That must go way back, but just mustard. That's an acquired taste for some. Not a fan of mustard. Not gonna lie.
You know what? Like, it's like exploded in my mind when I found out that there is mustard in mayo.
I find that hard to believe. Not gonna lie. You must be pulling me a leg. No, come on.
No. There is
that's-
mustard in mayo.
That's a mistake. No, I don't.
Yeah.
No way.
Oxenbilkab.
No, walnut.
Oh.
I mean, but I swear mayo is just made from eggs and egg yolks or something like that, isn't it?
But yeah, but also mustard
How?
for flavor.
How is it not yellow?
That doesn't mean it's going to be yellow.
I mean, I guess if you
sauce
put.
is made out of
Oh,
ketchup and there's the other stuff.
No, I can believe that because
That's
it
the-
looks like a combination of them.
Check this out.
I've been lied to my entire life then. Oh, I've just believed something.
No, you just refuse to believe.
That's not, I've just been enlightened. That's what it was. To be fair.
I don't think anyone ever talks about what sauce is made out of.
No, well, ketchup is, well, to be fair, actually true. Do you know your condiments?
Alright, it says mayo. Mayonnaise. I'll just say mayo. Is made by combining lemon juice or vinegar with egg yolks. Mayonnaise is thick cream sauce or dressing that is made of oil, egg yolks, lemon juice, or.
See, it's not mustard, right?
Uh.
Oh, see? Get your facts right.
No. Well.
Yeah, just cut this out of the editing.
Yeah, just kiss it.
This last 2 minutes never happened.
Is there mustard and mayo?
There could be some ingredients that have
probably
mayo.
some. I wouldn't be
mustard.
surprised.
Addition of mustard contributes to the taste and further stabilize the emulsion of mustard. Contains small amounts of lecithin. If vinegar is added directly to the yolk, it can emulsify more oil, thus making more mayonnaise.
So it's to do with how it's together.
That's
in Hymens? Is that Hymens?
Mm.
Hellmans, sorry. My bad.
Either way,
Yeah.
there is in some.
There's. Fair enough.
So it was
Fair enough, yeah.
it was 50-50.
50-50. No.
I'll agree to disagree.
I'll give you that. No,
You
show me.
mean,
You show
nah,
me.
it's I made a big statement.
Yeah.
And you were I was partially correct, and
I just didn't know, to be fair. It's fine. It's fair enough. Yeah.
Shake on it, yeah. Wait. Like this, and then I can't.
I just gave up on me. Just full on gave up.
I'll
Edit that out.
edit it out, censor it. Like I don't want anyone to see this.
Censored. They're gonna think of something else.
Especially in this area. No. Gosh darn. Well, yeah. I need. I think maybe because I haven't eaten.
Oh, you're not. Oh.
Maybe
That's not a good sign.
my brain juices are.
She's getting food after this.
Yeah, I am, to be fair.
Look at you.
I mean, it's almost dinner time, to be fair.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
That's another thing. I'm not sure about you guys, but I've noticed people here normally have their dinner. Well, maybe it's just me back home, but we have our dinner kind of later. No, it's like this time. It's like dinner time for a lot of people. How about this time?
Yeah. I would.
Maybe it's just because I'm a student. I eat later.
In Saudi, I remember having 2 dinners, one around 9 and one around 11.
2 at wow.
It was like around 11. I was
2
like,
hours difference,
I'm hungry. Like, should we like just have
11 p.m.
Yeah, both PM. that's.
Well, the thing
I'm
is-
in bed already.
The thing,
Or
like,
gaming, either way.
here's the thing: the malls would open at 9 in the evening and close at 4 a.m.
Oh, okay. That makes
Yeah.
more sense.
Right. Okay.
Switch the day for the night. Yeah.
Mm.
I eat when I'm hungry.
Well,
I don't
yeah.
really care
I mean,
about time.
that's another thing.
If you're
Like,
distracted by playing games, then it's a totally
If
different
I'm
story.
playing games, then I do forget to eat sometimes.
Yeah.
But other than
Guilty
that,
as charged as well.
I eat when I'm hungry. I don't have a set time.
yeah. I mean, I tend to
Sometimes.
sometimes.
But then
Depends on when
when
you
it comes
eat
to
lunch. Yeah, it would be
breakfast, I never
nice.
wake up in time.
Yeah.
No,
and then
for
it's
me-
too late to eat either.
I'll wake up and I just go to sleep.
Breakfast is the important meal
Or
of the
like,
day for me.
I was supposed to be nearly 5 minutes ago. We all been there. It's alright.
100%.
No need to be.
You wake up, it's actually
ashamed of-
brunch now.
Yeah,
'Cause you miss
exactly,
breakfast, it's brunch.
Exactly. One meal a day. Call it intermediate fasting. Or just lazy.
Improvise.
Nah, it's.
It is what it is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, that's why it's called breakfast, because you break the fast.
Someone else told me about
Mm.
that. Yeah, I
I
didn't.
never knew that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. To be fair, someone explained that to me as well. I was like, oh,
Because when you're sleeping, you're fasting, and well, technically, like breakfast is like the most important meal.
yeah.
Like you're not
I
even
agree
supposed
with
to
that.
have dinners. Not supposed to, but like there's no need to have a dinner. Maybe that's why
Really?
people have dinners earlier, like around 6, 7, and then they can fast from 6 to 7 till they wake up.
I'm a bit of a weird one because I sometimes would have a big breakfast and then
Yeah.
sometimes not have lunch at all. Just not eat it.
Nah,
just
for me
water.
lunch is the main.
I can go without lunch 100% and then have a big dinner. So I have a big morning, even not necessarily morning, obviously having breakfast, because who's up for that? All day eating, But yeah, I'm not too fussed about. Like I don't necessarily have to. I can just gnaw and just wait until a big meal for dinner. But I guess that's just me.
There you go. That's the thing. Like once you start being a student and taking care of yourself, you Yeah.
Taking care of yourself is hard.
It is.
Let's be honest.
It's like, thanks, Mom.
I mean, it's just a whole different problem in the sense of you have to do everything. That's the thing. That's you literally just have to do everything, and that's I think that's what uni teaches you.
Because I'm too lazy to make food.
Yeah.
That's when uni is supposed to help you try to learn, as in
what to do and what not to do.
Pretty much how to be independent. You know, how to make it out there in the world and not probably not starve yourself.
Yeah. You know what I also learned from uni?
What?
To actually put detergent when I wash my clothes. Because I had a few times where I would forget to put a pot and it would just spitting on with the water.
Oh, that's just drenched clothes. You might as well just jumped in the pool.
There you go. So you learn from your mistakes.
100%.
Yeah. Now every time, like, did I put?
Oh, have you
just made a handful? Just now.
It's just all of them. It smells great now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about the? It's recent, fairly recent. It was a thing where kids started eating the Thai pods. That was
the dumbest thing I ever heard.
That's that's
dumbest thing I've.
That's
by that time I think I already deleted my Facebook. So I heard about it in like my news YouTube videos, but that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
From my perspective, I see that as natural selection.
Natural selection.
It might be a bit rough, but if you're so stupid
blunt.
that you want to buy it,
willingly poison yourself.
For fame and some attention.
That's the thing. It's like obviously when we were young, it's like we do try things and experiment with things, and
but when we
I feel like it's
we was young. They are old enough to know what type it is. They are old
but then
enough
again,
to know that you should
is
not
it
be
all
eating
their fault? Because
Yes.
it's the parents' fault as well, wouldn't you say? Because like if they don't teach
parents,
them,
a bit of internet. We're I think
them.
we're like the first or the last generation with the internet. Like we're the last. Like I had the internet maybe. I can't remember like when I actually got access to the computer and the internet. Maybe when I was 10, 12, maybe. I honestly don't remember like when I actually had my own computer. And then my first phone was when I moved to Saudi when I was 10 years old, and I had like an old brick. It wasn't a touch screen. It wasn't anything.
Motorola was the next thing. The next
and then like I also remember like using like just before they actually closed down was LimeWire. You learn like what not to click on the computer when you got LimeWire, because that was virus.
Back then it wasn't just not a lot of people knew how to use the internet, what to do with it. Like YouTube wasn't much of a
it was
thing.
Just
it was just you could take recordings, videos, everything. You know, now it's like the internet is so ingrained.
Now you got kids that earn more money than us put together on the YouTube.
Yeah, probably even more than if we even get like a normal job.
Yeah.
To be fair, like just any decent job.
I mean, it's strange, man.
100%.
And then like, oh my god, 4 megapixel camera. Oh my god. Dude, that was.
And you break out your Nokia back in the day phone. Dude. It's like, this is history. This is where it's happened.
Yo, can you send me the alright Bluetooth? Alright.
Infrared, having to get your phone like just literally
the
infrared
and then hold it.
Yeah.
No, not a millimeter away.
Yeah.
You had the sweet spot, man, right there.
Oh god, yeah.
And it was, I don't know, like, and also like playing, like I would like take a stick and that would be like my gun. We'd play like cops and robbers or something like that.
Love cops and robbers.
But no, you can't do that. It's not PC. Well, I don't want to get to the whole theme of that, but
no. It's happening. It's what happens when things grow and develop. Some things get, I guess, forgotten.
I did like the times where people didn't push their agendas onto you, though. You do you, I do me.
Yeah, I don't want to judge you for doing you,
You don't judge me for doing me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
mind your own goddamn business.
Mind your goddamn business.
I think there was like a joke from some movie or something.
Probably.
It was like, my grandma used to live to 100 years. Like, what? Like, did she like do exercise? Nah, she minded her own business. But oh well, I don't know. It's You know what's like quite also depressing?
Mm.
Like a playground, you know,
Oh.
goals. You know, you got basketball courts, you got this, you know, the lines for
Is it
tennis,
weird that you
volleyball,
see
and
more
everything.
old people at parks
And then you
now?
and then you see kids on their phones sitting on the bench. Dude,
There's a swing right there.
I would be like like the moment like breakfast and everything. I'll be ready. Okay, like I'm ready to go outside.
Yeah.
And I would then get shouted by my parents, like, "Why aren't you back for the dinner time?" I was like, "Well, I had so much fun playing football
I
and
live
like,
somewhere.
yeah, you know." And then the creative, like just like if you take like a piece of rock or something, you can make a whole story and entertainment. And
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I used to do? I mean, hopefully I don't get demonetized now. I mean, I'm not demonetized, but like I'm not monetized at all on this channel, on any channel actually. But like a strike or anything. But like I don't know where the hell I got that idea. I had the like regular chalk, and you'll be like drawing on the concrete, on the asphalt,
Yeah.
whatever. I'll be grinding that stuff and selling it as cocaine.
Oh my god.
And I can't remember how old maybe like 6 or 7, maybe younger than that.
Wow. That's creativity.
Well, it was powder, so I was like,
I'm not gonna lie,
selling powder.
I didn't know about cocaine and then drugs kind of stuff even at that age. So you're much more advanced
I
at that
know.
age than
And
me.
then also I remember like I was the first 3 grades in Serbian school, the primary school, and I remember there was this poster which said like, what did it say? Like drugs are knocking on the doors of the school, and I was scared. I was so scared. Like I was crying, Mom, like, Mom, there's drugs knocking on the school door. You know, like the whole wording maybe like it was bad. Like the concept was like, you're surrounded by people and the narcs and everything, so you need to be careful and not to take shit from strangers. I was proper scared.
I can imagine, like, someone comes knocking on your door, you
Yeah.
just don't know what to expect, to be fair.
But oh well.
It's a good childhood you got.
It was.
Sounds fun.
I'm very thankful. I mean, if there was anything I would change, nah.
To be fair, I wouldn't change anything.
Nah.
No, I'm happy to. It's one of those things. Really?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's one of those things where you think about, like, if you
some
knew.
cringe moments maybe, but
To be fair, I want to keep the cringe one up.
My DS got stolen, and I would like to change that.
oh, actually, yeah. I had a friend who
Beat the bully up.
I had a friend who broke
Steal
my
your DS.
he broke
Dude.
my FIFA 2006 CD for my PSP.
That's sad. Especially if it's
Dude,
FIFA.
we exchanged. He gave me his Ben 10. I gave him FIFA.
Oh
and
my
after
god, Ben 10.
Yeah.
That's involved as well, just saying.
Yeah, and after like maybe it was like it was more than a week, maybe almost a month, and he hasn't like given it back to me. I was like, yeah, dude, like here's like I played with you with your Ben 10. Can I have my this back? He returns like in bits, like broken.
What?
I was
Heart? That's like your heart. Your heart is like how he gave it back to you. Broken.
Luckily, like thank God.
Get another CD.
My brother and I, we both had PSPs, and we both had FIFA because we both liked it. So my brother had another game,
one.
so we could share that. But either way, it was like,
It was. That's not fun to receive a broken disc. You expect it to be returned to you in full condition.
Yeah, and then
Jesus.
also another thing I would change. There was, I had like this mountain bike, and it was wicked. And there was this guy who got like a brand new like Toyota, some massive Jeep and everything. And I was like, like let's take the car for a ride a bit. And we go and like, oh, what's this? I don't know. Give it a gas a bit. I was like, oh, this doesn't sound right. Let's go outside. We go outside. My bike is under the car. The massive Jeep with like, I don't know how heavy it was, like a ton or something.
Oh.
And then like, so like we like backed up, and my front tire was in the shape of an 8. And even like, the bar that holds the wheel, that was twisted as well. And I was just like carrying the bike and just crying, like tears falling on screen with my face and like.
Now that's a moment. You could put that in a movie and
Yeah.
emotional. Just that would
So
just get me.
if I could go back and actually tell my stupid bike, you know,
The one thing you change, definitely.
I would change.
You
Yeah,
have
because
that
with
bike
that
probably to
bike,
date.
man, we used to have like races around the compound.
Sounds great.
Ooh, we had like pit
Ooh.
stops and like pump the tires and drink some water and then go. And then my friend who was Egyptian hid into a car, crashed into.
God.
Honey, I remember you, man.
If you're watching this.
But yeah, cool. I mean, this kind of went off topic, but it's cool. Thank you guys.
It's been a pleasure.
I mean, is there anything
Amazing.
else you guys want to talk or put out there? What future holds and
Next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever that next time is, we might be in like this high, like in stress and projects and stuff like that. But hopefully, we'll come out on the other end.
Oh, the thing is, like, we're all together in this, shipwreck, and then
It'd be great to see all of us, like obviously.
To get the whole year zero group together.
Have a last picture of year 02.
Before and
Yeah.
after.
Oh.
My beard
See
is
who
growing.
made it
to the end.
To the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, graduation. It's gonna be. It's
I
gonna be
mean, there
something.
were a couple of people that dropped out of graphics back in year zero.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So see who made it to the end. See
Yeah.
what people are doing now.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive.
Evolution. Ooh, yeah. That's a bird.
I think we should set that up.
Nah, but overall, it was great. Thank you guys for being
Yeah, of course.
on the first podcast of 2019.
No.
Yeah. Hopefully, I didn't. The mic levels weren't too explosive for that.
You can fix it in a editor.
Editing room, everything edit.
Yeah. Cool. Well, all of luck. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Kind regards, sincerely. This is email stuff. I've been sending emails recently, so.
To you from your friend Philippe.
Yes. That's me, Faisal Mahmoud Al Thani.
Catch me outside. How about that? Just edit that out.
Whoever managed to see it, whoever managed to see till this bit where we lost our minds, congratulations. Thank you very much. I'm very thankful
You
and
win
grateful.
absolutely nothing.
But thank you sincerely, and thank you guys again for coming.
Thank you so much.
And I'll put any social links that you guys want to share your portfolios, and even like after whenever you guys do make your own websites, wherever, if you want me to update.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.